Hi, so today I wanted to make a video about druid tanking a little bit. As you can see, we're in Naxx in the Abomination Wing. And I think that this is, out of all 4 wings in Naxx, 5 if you include Saf and KT, I think druid tanks are the most effective here, on bosses at least. Druids can tank, in my opinion, as you will see in the video, druids can main tank all 4 bosses in this wing. And effectively at that, it's not just for memes or, you know, anything like that. Like, we can actually hold legitimate threat. I don't feel like we're too difficult to heal as druids, tanking at least these 4 bosses, and hopefully you can see why in this video. So here comes Patchwork. I'm getting ready. I think I just double popped a Zanza. Unfortunately, I pre-popped a 50 stam, 50 spirit buff it's unique, and I got another one, and I still had 100 some minutes on the buff, and I just overrode it by accident. So oh well. So we're getting ready to pull patch right now, and I'm off tanking this fight. I'm not. If you're familiar with the fight, the main tank soaks his auto attacks, which is they're either second or every 1.5 seconds, and they hit for about 2,000. And then there's some Hateful Strike off tanks who he hits with every 2 seconds or so. He hits an off tank, whoever has the most health at the time, with Hateful Strike, which does about, to me, it does about 7,000 damage. On my warrior, I've been hit for 8,000 plus. So it's hard to heal through. Healers gotta be digital. It's the only damage on this fight, so the healers assigned to the tanks only have to focus on them. Pre-pot my Stone Shield and Bark Skin here, so that druids can't really pop pots in bear form, or they can't pop pots in bear form at all, or use Bark Skin, unfortunately, not in vanilla. But pre-popped before the fight, Bark Skin lasts for 12 seconds. It also decreases your attack speed, so it's not always wise to pop before boss because it'll be a loss in threat at the start, which is crucial. But you do take, I think, 20% less physical damage, and the Stone Shield pot raises my armor as well. So doing those right before the pull here ensured that, I took as least damage as possible. Just briefly showed what gear I'm wearing. What's cool about druids is some people talk about, like, oh, druids are not, like, yeah, maybe they can tank, but they're not good for progression. Which, if we're talking about Naxx, none of the gear that I'm wearing right now is from AQ. None of the gear that I'm wearing right now is from Naxx. It's all from AQ40 and some BWL, or from MC even. I have a few pieces, and there's almost no feral druid gear in Naxx, which is unfortunate. But what that means is that if this was a brand new guild that I was in right now, we've had Naxx on farm for quite a while, and a lot of them are tier 3 other BIS pieces. But if this was a brand new guild, a druid tank on this boss, the reason why druids are so good on this boss is he cannot crit or crush with any of his attacks, which is one of the main weaknesses of a druid tank as far as taking damage, as far as mitigation, is we're going to get crit, we're going to get crushed sometimes. This boss is just set to where he cannot inflict a crit or crushing blow. So druids are actually better tanks on this boss. They're probably about on par with a full tier 3 warrior tank, at least from my perspective. When I've tanked this boss on my warrior, it feels about the same damage-wise. Feels a little bit more on my warrior, actually, but for the most part, it's about the same. But if you're brand new on patch, the warriors are going to be in tier 2, and it's not, but the druid can be in full BIS because all the gear's from below. So here, in a second, our Pally tank, Justine, in Group 1's about to get one-shot by patch. He's just going to turn around and take him on health to 0. For some reason, I'm not sure why. And show him my armor there. And he's still hitting me here. It's about to happen. Just a second. Watch the top of the screen. Watch his Patchwork start. Oh, yeah, he's dead. I don't know how he took Hateful Strike there. He must have had the most health out of. He must have had pretty high health. I think he was just swinging Nightfall. I don't think he had a shield on. Probably wouldn't have gotten one shot otherwise, but it's pretty funny anyway. And yeah, I think druids are the best tanks on this fight all the way around. On paper, you should have 3 druid tanking Patchwork, in my opinion, and no warriors. I think it's just better for everybody. More threat, less damage intake, which threat is another thing I want to talk about. Druids don't have shield wall for Warring Rages, which sucks, but as you can see, I got Blessing and Protection from Paladin. And with Bop on this fight, you can still, the Hateful Strike tanks will still take the Hateful Strikes, even though they have Bop. So that's a handy little tool that Paladins can do if you're on Alliance, which feral, I think you should probably roll Alliance if you're going to be feral, in my opinion. I'll talk about reasons to that in other videos. But yeah, Alliance feral druids definitely have the advantage. So here I am pulling a Grobulus. Just popped my manual crab homer from Nomer, which you can look up information on that. I'll talk about it later, but that really it's what makes Druid Threat what it is. And you attack 50% faster for 30 seconds. You can pop it 3 times in a row. Once every 30 seconds to have a minute and a half of your swing speed. Normally in bears 2.5 turns into 1.67 when you pop a crab homer. It's quite fast. And with Maul, which is our main threat move, it takes place of auto attack like Heroic Strike for warriors. And the threat is multiplicative. However much damage you do with Maul, you times that damage, you multiply the damage by 1.75, and then again by 1.495, which is from talents, or threat modifier from talents, and just being in bear form. Once you multiply the damage from Maul by those two things, and that's how much threat Maul does. And so it really stacks up fast the more damage Maul does and how fast you do Maul. And right now, I think I showed off some point in the video, but right now with all the world buffs I have and everything, my crit's near 50%. It's like 46, 47%, something like that. So half the time I'm critting with Maul, and if you look at the threat meter to the right of the screen, I'm quite above everybody else. I have quite a nice threat lead. And these people, Grobus, as you can see, the boss is dying pretty fast. I think I took him too far there. I should have slowed him down a little bit. But as you can see, he's dying really fast. The DPS is great, and then nobody's having to slow down, which is how it should be. And warriors can pull off similar threat with full threat gear, like dual wielding, Fury, Prot Spec, mostly like threat DPS gear. Again, you don't have a shield or dual wielding, and like having Thunder Fury really helps too. If you have all those things as a warrior, then yeah, you're going to generate similar, maybe debatably better threat than a feral druid does. But as far as practicality goes, again, none of my gear's from Naxx, and my weapon's from the level 28 instance that I can solo farm. I don't have to farm Thunder Fury, which took about a year for me to do on my warrior. You might never get it as a warrior. For a while I didn't think I was ever going to get it. You're lucky if you get Thunder Fury, and most people won't have it come classic, and most people won't have it here on private servers. So, but as a druid, just practicality speaking, I think druids generate more threat than warriors, and we definitely take less damage than a warrior who's wearing full threat gear, because right now I'm wearing full tank gear, mitigation gear as best I can. So right now as you can see, you might be able to see in the bottom left, I'm rejuvenating as many people as I can, because when I pull the boss, I'll have the threat from healing all those people, and they're taking damage here in the tunnel. Popped a potion, Stone Shield potion before I pulled, and here we go. So I got a nice threat lead right from the start, just from healing people. Didn't have to do anything else, and that ensured that he got on me first, which is not a given for this boss. I've pulled more often than not, I'd say, when I pull this boss, he's looking at a healer, or he's like, one time he ran up through the wall into the pipe. It was ridiculous, chasing somebody, I don't know who, but that won't happen if a druid's tanking him. And right now I'm main tanking him. I have a nice threat lead. The one problem is we have no way to break fear, and he's about to fear me. I called for a fear ward, I didn't get one, but as you'll see in a sec, that wasn't a bad thing. In fact, no one died. So here's after mage, because I got feared. But since I still have the threat lead, all I gotta do is Fairy Fire after my fear breaks, and now I have aggro again. And I still have a nice threat lead, despite getting feared, and when I got feared, my stacks dropped off for my healing debuff. So really, it's, in my opinion, the ideal way to do this boss is to let a range have secondary threat, let the tank get feared, the mage just kites for a little bit. The boss doesn't run very fast, and then he'll go right back on the tank if the tank hits him with something, in which case for Druid Fairy Fire, it doesn't even have to, it can resist as far as I know. I just have to hit him with something or cast something on him, and he'll come back to me after my fear's broken, because my threat's still on top. And very fast kill, my Stone Shield's still up, I have an ample threat lead, and bam, the boss is dead. Didn't look like, to me, in my opinion, he was hitting me so hard that I was just in danger of dying constantly. Felt like the healers kept me up just fine. I doubt they had much trouble doing it. Sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, druids just get one shot. Like, if you get crushed, you're dead, which is just not true. When you're at armor capped and have 13, 14,000 health, world buffed, which druids can easily achieve those numbers. Yeah, you're stable enough to where if the healers are paying attention and pre-casting heals like they should be, they're not gonna let you die. Maybe on some bosses, like I'd be a little scared to take Mixna or like Mulgran and 4 Horsemen. I don't think those would be practical for a druid to tank. I think we'd take a little too much damage, but I could be wrong. I've yet to do it. One day when I tank them, I'll talk about it, share my thoughts. But here's Thaddeus. I'm actually not tanking Thaddeus in this clip. Or main tank warrior is. He's, as you'll see, he does a very good job with threat. So I kind of hung back and, you know, because I had to ask my guild. As a druid, also, certain stigma, people don't think we can do certain things that we can. And so I had to ask my guild. I said, hey, because normally I'm like the 4th tank. I had to ask my guild, hey, can I tank these bosses on when you raid? Grovius and Gluth, because I normally tank Patrick anyway. And I said, you know, I asked him, hey, can I tank Grovius and Gluth? Is it okay with everybody else? I don't want to cause drama. Let me know what you think. And they were fine with it. I think partly because I have a warrior, and you know, on the same server, they know who my warrior is, and they know I've tanked these on my warrior. And if I think I can tank them on my druid, I think they trust me enough to trust that I know what I'm talking about. So that was fortunate. If I didn't have a warrior, I don't know if I'd be tanking these bosses. I don't know if anyone would have let me, because there's still very much a stigma of like, oh, can druids tank? You know, definitely a stigma. So druids are actually really good on. There are druids who have tanked Thaddeus, this boss, many times, because our threat on this fight is insane due to our mechanics work. And so that's been done. And for right now, our warrior's tanking him, and as you can see, he has a very nice threat lead. He just got he has Thunder Fury. He just got Hungry and Cold for his offhand, which helps immensely, he said. And I'm just trying to keep second threat right now, just in case something happens. Like, I've seen tanks down this fight, so, you know, if something happened and he just took a whole bunch of damage, the boss would go right to me. Right now, Mage is above me, but by the end of the fight, I have secondary threat. And so that's all I was doing. I was being a little lax on the crowd pulmers right there. I was about to pop it, and then I decided not to, but I only had 1 charge left, so I said, fuck it, I just popped it. So I was like lax with the crowd pulmers on this. You know, I wasn't trying to pull threat. But I'm still second threat right now, so if the tank did die, you know, he'd go right to me. So that's happened on Make Some before, where the tank died and the boss went right to me instead of wiping. We killed him, which was pretty cool. So that's the end of the video, and yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want to see me make more new videos in the future, let me know.